Reality. I'm your host, Meah Denee, and today we have an actress, Yasha Jackson, who's going to be talking to us a little bit about her career and also a lot about her voiceover work that she's been doing lately. So thank you so much, Yasha, for coming and talking to us.
Thank you.
I know it's been a minute. We've been trying to get this
I
interview going.
know. Busy times, busy days, busy seasons.
So why don't you just tell us a little bit about how you got into acting?
Well, how I got into acting, when I was younger, I wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted to be a lawyer so bad. The idea of fighting for people and arguing the good fight, fighting the fight, was what I wanted to do. And then one day, passing, someone mentioned how long it took to become a lawyer. Just 1 minute, someone was like, oh yeah, it takes 5 million years. And I was like, what? It died. The desire to be a lawyer just died. I was like, okay, I'm over that. And it was like my thing. So then I always liked to perform. I loved reading. So in junior high school, I was in a play in junior high school, and I convinced my father to let me go to a school in D.C. where I'm from called Duke Ellington School of the Arts. Dave Chappelle went there. A lot of black actors went to that school.
I know you do voiceover work, and you are the new voice of Yoplait.
Yeah.
And also Tide.
Hold on.
Oh, that's Yoplait. Okay.
Oh,
yes.
let me see what you think about it. That's for you.
Oh,
This is for me.
Greek blended Yoplait.
Yoplait.
And I love yogurt, so.
We won't even say that other name. Okay, so All American wants to know. Let me see. I need this.
This is good.
Isn't it? Thank you, Jesus. Let me tell y'all, I have been doing the voice of Yoplait, dozens of commercials, not dozens, but dozens of specs, a whole bunch of commercials, and I didn't have one of these. I didn't have one. And Ian, my twin brother, he bought these. He was like, listen, we need to support Yoplait. And I just did one of these. I was like, wait, this is so good.
It is.
Which is a tagline for Yoplait. It is so good, but really, this is so good.
And I like Chobani, but this is good.
See? Meah. See, I don't got the lie.
So tell us how this got started, how you got into voiceovers. Yeah.
Well, I'm with an agency, a really strong agency in New York called Abrams Artists. And I called them and I asked them the voiceover department, and we had a meeting. And while I was talking with everyone, like 6 different voiceover agents and assistants, the second sentence, they were like, you have a beautiful voice. The tone of your voice is really beautiful. Do you sing? I was like, I do sing. They're like, I didn't do anything. We were just talking about like my life or like New York or something stupid. And they were like, I love your voice. So they sent me out an audition, and I was up against an audition with Tori Martin, who did the B.I.G. movie, and she's in the that TV series now on Stars. And that's how we became friends. Me and her became friends from the day. But we auditioned for something together, and I booked it. My first voiceover audition, I booked it, and I just been doing voiceovers ever since, which was like the end of 2008, 2009.
Wow, okay. Voiceovers, do they? I guess you go into
A recording.
And do they kind of tell you how they want your voice to sound? And
when you audition for a voiceover spot, it'll have a spec. Like a breakdown, like this character is 25, she's optimistic and sassy, so they'll give you a little like who she is, and then you personify that sound. And for me, when I'm in the booth, it's very physical. So when I tell people about, I actually have a couple scripts around here. I try to tell them to be physical, opposed to like, I'm reading now, these are the words. People here, they've been with me when I'm recording, and I'm very physical. Like, you have to really, it really is acting. It really is acting. And it seems like it's not, because it just seems like light work, but it's so much harder to book voiceovers.
And why is that? It's so much harder than?
Because you don't have anything to hide behind. Like, I literally go do voiceovers and looking crazy. I have walked up in there looking like, are we ready? Like, no makeup on, like pajamas. I barely made it. Like, literally. You can't pretend to be charming. You can't look beautiful. Either your voice is displaying what this brand is looking for, or it doesn't.
For somebody that's trying to get into voiceover work, what would be the one thing that they really need to perfect, like to perfect that craft, even if they don't necessarily know how to get into the industry, but they're just like, you know, I want to act, I want to be a voiceover for an animated character, what is it that they really need to do?
They need to know their voice. Like, the thing with Yoplait was that the ad agency, that president of General Mills, they called my agency, since my agency has a great roster of voiceover clients, voiceover actors. They called the president of my voiceover agency, in the voiceover department, and said, I'm looking for this type of voice. Do you know someone that can do this voice? So I got a call. I didn't audition. I don't even have a real reality. I don't even have a reel. You need to get a reel. You should have a reel. So I think the first thing, as a voiceover artist, you have to say I'm a voiceover artist. Even if you ain't booked nothing yet, I am a voiceover artist. And my voice has this kind of thing. My tone is very warm. I have a very sultry, warm, cola texture to my voice, opposed to someone that's squeaky and hyper. My voice has a lot of texture and timbre to it. It has a smoky sound to it without it being really heavy. It's still light and inspirational and upbeat, but it has a smoky sound. So as a voiceover artist, you really need to know what your voice is, so that every little thing that you see on TV, every script that comes across your desk or you see on the internet, you're not chasing after it, because you know that's not my voice.
Going on with that, you said your voice needs a brand. So when they figure out what their voice is, I guess their talent, how do they go about perfecting that brand?
They need to get a reel. It is 2014. Nobody is gonna, you can't send somebody an email. I love to do voiceovers. I can't hear your voice. I think that it would be important for them to get a reel, but before they get a reel, they need to be in a voiceover class, because it's just like, because everyone speaks, they think they can do voiceovers. But because you speak, it doesn't mean you can do voiceovers. And because you know how to read and you're funny, doesn't mean you can do voiceovers. So I think getting into a good class where a teacher can sit down and say, listen, honestly, this is the strengths of your voice, these are the weaknesses, let's work on how you read. Because maybe you may have a good tone, but you can't enunciate, you can't act.
Is there anything else you would kind of want to tell up-and-coming actors who are trying to make it in New York, LA, wherever they're at?
That actors, you know, in the Stanislavski book, the famous An Actor Prepares, and that like old, ancient, every actor needs to know that book. There's a chapter called Faith. You know, if you don't have faith, then it will not, you already might as well just hop in a coffin, close it for yourself, and then die. Because you have to have faith. Because you're going to hear no. A lot of times, you're going to hear no in your own voice. I really can't do this. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not what they're looking for. I don't have the right body. I'm not the right race. I'm not the right age. I don't have the right agent. You will hear so many no's in your own head, in the head of in the face of others telling you no, and you just have to have a sure, fast faith that God has you here for this purpose. Because if God is for you, then nothing can be against you. You have to believe. I don't care that if it took me a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, I'm never going to give up. And that's how it's very easily to weed those people out. People get discouraged, they get down, they get angry, they get bitter, they get a case of the bitters. And there's nothing worse than an actor that has a case of the bitters. It is so unattractive. It reeks. You can smell it. And then there's someone else who's like enjoying life, and they just did a free off Broadway show in Jamaica, Queens, and they're happy and they're blessed and they're grateful. Or someone else, here we are again, honey, I'm so sick and tired. So it's important to have faith.
So thank you. That was great advice. I know a lot of people are going to take that to heart. Thank you so much for letting me interview you. If you want to see more of Yasha's work, check out her website, Yasha Nicole. You can check her out on Facebook also and Instagram. And don't forget to tune in next Friday for our next episode of Real Reality. Check us out on YouTube, Real Reality Blog.
Yeah.
And our Tumblr, realreality.tumblr.com. Thanks so much. God bless. We'll see y'all next time.